Storm Tracker 6. This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The last of the showers and thunderstorms have now pushed out of southeastern portions of the state. Was packing quite a punch with some very heavy rainfall, winds gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour. Only other activities, a couple little small cells to our west. Those are not doing much in terms of intensity or expanding, and over the next couple of hours likely will begin to fall apart. Temperatures currently 91 in Alma, back up to 85 now in Lansing, 81 in Jackson. So the heat index now back in the 90s for Lansing, 97 Alma, 92 in Coldwater. Forecast wise for tonight, it's going to be another muggy night, another mild night. Rain chances at least look minimal, but as you're heading out late tonight or early tomorrow morning, it'll be similar to what we had this morning. We've got one more really hot day on the way. Then we could say goodbye to the 70s for lows because they're going to drop into the 50s later this week. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 6.
A deadly weekend shooting in Jackson leaves a community searching for answers. It's our top story at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer.
And I'm Jorma Duran. Police are in the early stages of investigating the death of an 18-year-old woman who was shot and killed near the 1500 block of Carl Breeding Way in her car Sunday afternoon.
6 News Jackson Bureau reporter Sean Graney spoke to neighbors and officials about what happened. He's here for you now with the story.
Behind me here on Carl Breeding Way is where 18-year-old Mia Sims was shot and killed, and officials say they are still trying to piece together exactly what happened.
She ain't deserve it at all. She really didn't.
A community devastated.
And then I went online, I started seeing who it was. I'm like, dang.
Sunday afternoon, Jackson police responded to a shots fired call near United People's Church.
Officers arrived and found a 18-year-old female who had been shot in the neck. She was taken to Henry Ford Jackson Hospital where she received treatment, but unfortunately she died from her wounds.
City of Jackson Police Chief Chris Simpson says investigations are underway. He tells me the Major Crimes Task Force investigative unit made up of the Jackson County Sheriff's Department, Michigan State Police, and Blackman Township Public Safety has been called to assist.
I can say we certainly have people of interest that we're investigating right now, but right now it's just too early to name suspects at this juncture of the investigation.
Marcus Smith says he went to high school with Sims, and the tragedy hits close to home.
It hurt the community for real too, because everybody knew her. She knew a lot of people, and everybody loved her. She was a great girl. You know, she was respectful, always positive.
Officials say anyone with information should reach out to Jackson Police or Crime Stoppers. Here for you in Jackson, Sean Graney, 6 News.
A Lansing area landlord is being sued by the city of Lansing for housing code violations across 8 properties.
Today, he was fined $4,500 for those violations.
In one home, sewage was backed up into the basement. In another, pieces of furnaces were missing and stairs were broken. The fine came after Christian Wabu was unable to provide the court with sufficient evidence that he was making progress on bringing those properties up to code.
Maybe something's been done afterward, maybe in April, in May, in June, maybe between the first hearing and the second hearing, something's been done. But it's way past the March 25th date as far as what's been done on this. So I'm going to find a $500 fine concerning non-compliance when the ticket was written.
A new hearing was scheduled for September 2nd. For more details on this story, you can head to our website, WLNS.com.
At the Capitol, a bill to limit cell phones in school failed to pass in the Michigan House of Representatives.
No Democrats voted in favor of it, even though it was one of Governor Gretchen Whitmer's priorities from her 2025 State of the State address.
For students in grades kindergarten through 5th, cell phones would have been banned on school grounds. For students in grades 6 through 8, cell phones would be banned during the entire school day, and high school students in grades 9 through 12 would be banned from using a cell phone during instructional time. During an emergency, students could use their cell phones as long as it didn't interfere with the school's emergency protocols or interfere with first responder activities.
Well, in this update, we are now hearing from Michigan State University workers set to be impacted by the looming layoffs.
Last week, we told you MSU announced more than 100 jobs will be lost due to federal funding cuts, many due to the school losing more than $10.5 million earmarked for SNAP Ed.
Our Taryn Simmons spoke with a current MSU Extension employee, and she's here for you now live in studio with what she found out. Taryn?
Siobhan Jorma, the employee I spoke to, says the job cuts on the chopping block are community nutrition instructors that were funded by SNAP Ed.
As Michigan State University prepares to lose $10.5 million from their annual funding for its SNAP Ed program, MSU Extension employee Stothis Paul says he's worried for what's to come.
So we don't have an exact number. We're trying to figure that out, but it could be anywhere from 90 to 120 employees, and that's roughly, if not more than a quarter of Extension's employee base.
Pauls manages the Detroit Partnership for Food Learning and Innovation, which is an urban farm and research center. He says while his position is not at stake, many of his coworkers' jobs are.
So I'm thinking about at least 3 CNIs in my office who have been doing this for 30 years. That's 30 years of relationships, 30 years of trust, 30 years of community building, on with one pen stroke.
Community nutrition instructors teach kids, teenagers, adults, and even the elderly on how to make health a priority in their daily lives. The SNAP Ed program helps those who are on SNAP benefits to establish healthy eating habits and staying active while staying on their food budget. Paul's coworkers tell him they're stressed about losing their position, but worry more for the communities who may lose access to the support the programs provide. Paul says the funding cuts are unprecedented and will hurt Michigan families.
These are people that are out in the community. We're out in the community trying to make a difference for everybody.
Pauls tells me that the layoff notifications for the CNI employees are set to come out on July 31st.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
This has been quite an active weather day with the hot weather and the high humidity and also some thunderstorms moving through. Here's a look back at where these storms started earlier this afternoon. One near the lake shore and then one right over downtown Lansing formed, and that raced south and eastward. Produced some flooding over towards southeastern Michigan, but other than that, not a whole lot of severe weather reports coming in, which is of course good news. Last of the storms now out of the southeastern corner of the state. To the northwest, we'll continue to watch this one cell as it's moving towards the south-southeast. Not going to be a problem for Lansing, but some of our western counties could see a few raindrops this afternoon. So we zoom out just a bit to our west and to our north. Not a lot happening tonight, and I do think we have quiet weather for tonight, but with all the heat and instability, we'll probably see a few more showers and thunderstorms out there tomorrow. So the humidity, when is it going to drop? Well, tomorrow is still quite muggy outside, but as we move through Wednesday, it begins to drop, and then by Thursday, boy, it is going to feel absolutely refreshing out there with dew points between 50 and 60 degrees. That's more typical of an air mass moving in September. So we check out the temperature outlook. Below average east and west coast, above average in between. We're kind of near normal for the next 6 to 10 days. As you'll see in the 6-day forecast, should average out quite nicely. Precision cast tonight through tomorrow morning. Quiet weather on the way. There's our area of low pressure and our cold front, which is going to knock those humidity levels down. So we move into early Tuesday or Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. That's when the cold front begins to slowly sink through, and it'll probably still start out still fairly muggy on Wednesday, but then as the day wears on, a couple showers and storms, humidity levels start to drop. You'll really start to notice a difference by Wednesday evening into Wednesday night. Temperatures now back up to 88 in St. John's, 85 Lansing, Charlotte at 86 degrees. On the Skyview network, on the McLaren cam, our heat index is at 96, the dew point 77, and a current temperature of 85 degrees. Super muggy in Grand Ledge this afternoon. Dew point also at 77. Temperatures at 90, but the heat index, it feels like it is 103 degrees. Jackson Cam, mostly sunny skies. Temperature 81, feels like 86 with a dew point of 74. And finally in Hillsdale, we've got mostly sunny skies. Temperatures now back up to 80 and the heat index back up to 86 degrees. For tonight, look for mainly quiet conditions. Overnight low drops down to 70 degrees. Then as we head into Tuesday, very hot once again. High temperatures near 91, heat index 95 to 100 degrees with a few evening showers and storms. Over the next 6 days, a couple more storms on Wednesday, then 70s return for highs, lows in the 50s. Life is good. Low 50s possible Saturday morning, maybe even a few upper 40s. We're back in the low 80s on Sunday next week, mid 80s generally, which is pretty warm, but those overnight lows indicating dew points probably in the 60s, so it won't be nearly as hot as what we've dealt with here recently.
Two thumbs up
This
for
is
that.
the summer we've been looking for.
Right. Where has it been all summer?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll continue for months and months and months.
We can hope, but I do see a little more heat in the long range.
Okay, that's okay.
Thank you, David.